on Sun Valley. Daily local news from beautiful Sun Valley, Idaho.
Good morning, Ion Sun Valley. This is Marie's Kitchen. Welcome. Today we are gonna cook a celery root. We call that in French celery rave, celery root. So that's very typical in Europe. I grew up with this vegetable, and this is perfect vegetable for winter. So what we're gonna do first, we are gonna peel this little guy. I already rinsed it. That was a little bit of dirt. And this vegetable is one of the oldest vegetable that exists in record history. So it comes mostly from the Mediterranean area, Middle East, as well as North Africa. So what I'm gonna start doing, I'm gonna cut this bottom and this bottom. We're not gonna use this. So an easy way to peel, you can do it different ways. We can use it like this. Okay, and you know me and my two knives, so I have my chef knife and my little knife, so we can use either one. The one that I feel most comfortable for this little guy will be my little knife. There you go. Oh, it smells so good. In ancient history too, the Egyptians were using this little root for medicinal. So it's really an old vegetable, but perfect for winter. And I cooked this for my family yesterday, and I have a very tough crowd because I had my son and my daughter-in-law visiting for Thanksgiving. And I have to say, my son is a very, very difficult eater, but he loved my little vegetable here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna try to get as white as possible. I think this is gonna be the longest work for you guys. It's peeling this vegetable. But it's an easy task. It takes a little bit longer, that's all. But the result's gonna be so rewarding. So there it is, it's coming up. All right, see, this vegetable is already almost peeled off. Was not that hard, but now the next step will be to cut it and make it cube. So we are gonna, so the next step will be cut it in two. It's a little bit like a potato. See, I have few little spots here. What we're gonna do, we're just gonna clean it up with a peeler. There it goes. Yep. So we have a perfect white consistency. I'm gonna clean that. There, and then this one, same thing. I'm gonna peel. This one, I use my knife here. There, perfect. Yeah, in Europe, it's a vegetable that we use a lot. We have a very classic Belgian dish that we do with that. It's called celery rave remoulade. And it's raw, and it's with mayo and parsley, a little bit of vinaigrette. Anyway, so here is your vegetable completely ready to be cut. So we're gonna slice, and you can see it's not that hard. I see a little bit black spot again here. So I'm gonna cut this just to have a perfect white color. So, and then you cut it, small piece, so it's gonna cook faster. This recipe should be, shouldn't take longer than 30 minutes to finish up. So I'm gonna do the same thing from beginning to the end. And I'm gonna make it diced this side. Smells so good. All right, so now we have the root completely in your pan. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use some milk. This one is 2%, but you can use 1%, fat-free, whatever you want. The goal is to just cover, there it goes. We covered the celery. Salt and pepper, so a little bit of salt, a bit more because I have cracked pepper, maybe 1 or 2. And we're ready to boil. And it shouldn't take, because this one is a small one, small to medium, shouldn't take more than 15 minutes for this to boil. Alrighty, now we are gonna cook our celery. I'm gonna put like on high right now for about 15 to 20 minutes. And after that, I'll show you what's the next step, and we'll be right back.
At Sun Valley Associates, we approach our business with a commitment to hard work, honesty, tradition, and community, the values on which this unique valley was built. Through years of experience, we've learned that a successful sale goes far beyond the final transaction. Our team takes the time to truly understand your goals and your family's goals, and to use our combined experience to guide you through your real estate process. Let us help you invest in yourself, your family, and in the Sun Valley lifestyle, the place we happily call home.
Sun Valley Associates Real Estate Brokers, 700 East Sun Valley Road, Ketchum, Idaho.
So we're mods. We have coffee, we have pastries, we have clothing. We sell it all. We have a range of vintage clothing, high-end women's and everyday wear, ranging from Pendleton to fancy going-out dresses. Some clothing even dating back to the 20s.
Hi, I'm Jacob. My wife Tara and I are the owners of Mods. We're both a coffee shop and a clothing store. We use Harrison Insurance for everything. Business, auto, renters, even our little dog is insured.
The nuances of our unique business are covered with Harrison, and I don't think that I could have obtained that going to a big insurance company directly.
We feel that if something were to happen tomorrow, we'd be okay because we have Harrison Insurance to help us.
Harrison Insurance for all of your insurance needs. Barry Peterson Jewelers, a luxury jewelry store in Ketchum, Idaho, specializing in custom design and repair.
Jewelry making, I look at as more of architecture. A piece of jewelry is more of a link between a man and or a woman and or mankind and the gemstone world. And so there is actually a lot of engineering that goes involved, that I think is involved with making a piece of jewelry that someone's going to wear every single day of their life. That part of the 3D thinking is a huge factor.
Create your custom piece with Barry Peterson today.
Welcome back. So now that my celery had cooked for about 18 minutes, like I said, depends of the size of your celery. You cook it between 15 and 20 minutes. Now, if it's really a big one, it goes a little bit over. But I'm going to show you how to know that your celery is cooked. So I'm going to scoop the celery, put it in this mixing bowl or salad bowl. I'm not going to throw the milk left over because you never know. If it's too dry when I'm going to start mashing, we're going to add a little bit of the milk. I don't think I will need it, but I'd rather to have it than not. So, voila. Okay, now I'm going to put this on the side. I'm going to grab my masher here and see how easy it is to just mash, just like you're doing mashed potatoes. You just mash your celery cube. Of course, you're going to taste for the seasoning if you need to add salt or pepper. What I'm going to do now is to add my 2 tablespoons of butter. And this is going to give a nice, creamy, tasty taste, extra taste to this little vegetable that is really hiding on the shelf on some grocery store because we don't know much about the celery root, but it's really, really a great vegetable, especially during winter. Now, another thing that I use this celery root is with mashed potatoes. So sometimes when I do mashed potatoes, I will cook the celery the same way. I drop it with the potatoes in the pan, boil it, and just do a regular mashed potatoes with the taste of the celery root in it. The celery root, I was trying to figure it out which kind of taste does the celery root has. Well, after consulting with few of my friends, we decide that it's like a sweet potatoes with a hint of celery, like the regular celery. So that we came up with this idea. I think that's pretty accurate. So there. Oh, this is so good. And the smell, yum, it's so good. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, you know me now by now, Marie and nutmeg. I love nutmeg, cannot help it. I'm from Belgium. So you don't have to do that. You definitely don't have to do that. But I'm gonna put a tiny bit, not much, but a tiny bit of nutmeg. See, very tiny. Mixed it. Look how pretty this is. Oh, and another thing about the celery root for people who like, you know, who be careful with diet and calorie, the celery root without the butter, of course, it's 18 calories per 100 grams, meaning 18 calories for 3.5 ounces. So it's pretty damn good, I think. Anyway, your celery is ready to be served. Another thing that I'm gonna add, not much, but before serving, put a little bit of green in your presentation. So I use this big bowl just because I couldn't find in between to mash it. But now what are we gonna do now? We're gonna taste, right? Yes, we are. So I'm gonna take my plate and, okay, you know me and my presentation, I like to put color, and I'm gonna scoop tiny bit, just for the fun of it. Put a little bit more parsley. And the best moment of the recipe, let's taste it. Okay. I know I always say the same thing over and over, but why not? Because that's the truth. It is absolutely delicious. I'm sure you're gonna enjoy it. This is outside of the box, so to speak, because I don't know how many of you have heard of celery root, and that's what we call in French purée. Purée de céleri rave, meaning mash of celery root. So like we say, happy holidays to you, and I will see you next time on Eye on Sun Valley in Marie's Kitchen. Au revoir.
Hi, I'm Gary, manager of the Attic Thrift Store in Haley, and today I'm not here to sell you anything or tell you about any great deals at the Attic. We all know the Attic always has great deals. That goes without saying. Instead, the Attic and its staff would like to give a sincere thank you to all its loyal customers and generous donors who help to make a huge impact in our community. How? For those who don't know, the Attic Thrift Store is a nonprofit that exists to help support the advocates whose mission is to teach people of all ages to build and maintain healthy relationships through education, shelter, and support services. With your help, we are making a difference in ending domestic violence and sexual assault. Every day, lives are changed at The Advocates. Please visit our website at www.theadvocatesorg.org. So from all of us, thank you for shopping and donating to The Attic. You're truly...
Better food, better price, better service. Atkinson's Market, supporting local farmers since 1956.
Hi, Mark. I just wanted to take a few minutes just to let you know how thankful us at Wood River Insurance are for all the first responders, healthcare workers, truck drivers, postal workers, grocery store clerks, everybody that's continuing to service the public. We sure appreciate you guys. And to show how serious we are about it, take a look at this. When you see this sign when you drive by, honk. Show your support.
Autoimmune disease is a huge one that we treat that affects a lot of people. When you look at the properties of hyperbarics, getting the inflammation down, getting those organs to function properly, and it's proven that it suppresses the autoimmune system. So, yeah, we've had really good success with autoimmune disease.
I'm Michael David with Eye on Sun Valley, and it's my pleasure to be joined by the famous, infamous Nappy Neiman, Nappy from the Elephant's Perch, and we're sitting here in front of some awesome e-bikes. It seems like they're the craze right now. Is this a fad, Nappy, or what?
No, Michael, it's far from a fad. Obviously, you know, it's hit Ketchum, it's hit the United States, but long before that, it was in Europe. The e-bike revolution is here. It's not going to go away. We're going to have to work with it. We're going to have to educate the people on what's going on with the e-bike world. It's a great world to be on. It's a great world when you get on it and maybe you're not the best in shape. You've got a knee injury or an injury that you had from skiing, which a lot of that times occurs. And what happens is you get on an e-bike and you go out for a day and you come back and your smile is from ear to ear.
Right, the smile makers. And you bring up, I think, a very important point is that it's not, some people maybe have the impression that all the work is being done by the bike and it's not exercise.
No, I mean, I think that's what's happened in the e-bike world. It's a really big adjective and it really needs to be educated and defined. E-bikes are pedal assist or non-pedal assist or different categories. And then in the United States, which is happening in lots of states, just 23 states approved. You know, granted here, we just worked with the Ketchum City Council, the Sun Valley City Council, the BCRD to approve classifications on our bike paths. Now we need to educate the people of how to be respectful, how to use e-bikes. What we have in those educational situations is letting people know about the classifications. Class 1 is an e-bike. That is pedal assist, meaning if the bike is not being pedaled, there is no
motor
help
at all.
No motor whatsoever. As soon as you stop pedaling, the bike doesn't help. And that is a really good classification. That's the one that's being approved in many states. Class 1 is pedal assist, 20 miles an hour. And that doesn't mean it goes automatically to 20 miles an hour. You have to get it to 20, but it stops assisting at 20.
The electric motor cuts out at 20. Right.
And, yeah. And class 2 again is not pedal assist, but 20 miles an hour. It has a throttle. Now that's something that some people agree with or disagree with. That's depends. But I know obviously with some of the council, especially in the Ketchum City Council, class 2 was approved because of pure, true handicap. Somebody that can't pedal, has really severe knees, injuries, but he still wants to get out.
Get them outside.
Get them outside on the bike path. That's the key to the e-bike revolution: is getting people back on bikes, making them feel really good at being out on our bike path systems, out in nature, and enjoying their life.
And also, do you see a possibility that this can grow as a mode of transportation as well as recreation?
I think that's already occurred in the city, and that is where you do have the Class 3. Class 3 is not approved here in town on City of Ketchum on the bike paths. The reason why that is Class 3 has a speed limit of 28 miles an hour.
That's moving.
You're moving at 28 miles an hour. And so when you look at 28 miles an hour, you're actually illegal right in the City of Ketchum. At 25 miles an hour.
Now, but you can ride those on the streets.
You can ride them on the streets, but again, respect education. And that's why Class 3 is taking a little back seat from a few people. Wattages of motors have been really important because Obviously, we have e-bikes, everything coming into skateboards, scooters, everything.
Right.
And there is a situation where we want to make sure that motorcycles don't come onto our bike path
Sure.
systems.
Again, it's about education. It's about a little bit of regulation, but when it comes down to, like everything in our community, is self-policing, respect, all that.
I think education is the first one, and then respect. We've been doing this for now, myself being here 40 years. You've been here for a number of years. We've been through all of these controversial situations. You know, when you go and talk to people, it's great to have them, if they're on one side of the fence, and you bring them to the other side of the fence. It started with the snowboarders.
Sure.
People can stand snowboarders on Bald Mountain.
Right.
You know, we have some of the most finest, respectful people on snowboards.
Right.
The second one, which I was a part of, which is a very interesting one, was the bike path.
Right.
The bike path was very controversial when it was first put in. And when I was helping Dick Fosbury, surveyor for Blaine County, it was amazing how many people didn't want the bike path.
Incredible.
If we would have gotten, you and I, if we would have gotten $5 from those people every time they said they didn't want to be on the bike path, but now they're on the bike path with their grandchildren, their great-grandchildren.
Right.
Michael, you and I would have been millionaires.
Yeah.
And the backcountry skier and the snowmobiler. And those two had to get educated together. We brought those two groups together. And that's what we need to do with the e-bike community, or the people that don't understand the e-bikes, is to do a media blitz like we're doing here to educate them about this. These bikes here behind me are not nasty.
No, they're not.
I forget one adjective was used, the bike of death or something.
Right. I mean, and I can tell you, anecdotally, there are a lot more people riding bikes this summer.
There's a lot more people coming to Sun Valley, Idaho.
Sure.
They love it. They're obviously, it's really funny because working with the Elephant's Perch for so many years, I see all these questions. We talk about e-bikes daily. You know, in 5 questions about bikes, 3 are about e-bikes, 1's about a gravel grinding bike, and 1's about just normal bikes.
Wow.
So it's really here to stay.
It's here to stay.
It's taken over. It's really fun.
Hi, I'm Gary, manager of the Attic Thrift Store in Haley, and today I'm not here to sell you anything or tell you about any great deals at the Attic. We all know the Attic always has great deals. That goes without saying. Instead, the Attic and its staff would like to give a sincere thank you to all its loyal customers and generous donors who help to make a huge impact in our community. How? For those who don't know, the Attic Thrift Store is a nonprofit that exists to help support the advocates whose mission is to teach people of all ages to build and maintain healthy relationships through education, shelter, and support services. With your help, we are making a difference in ending domestic violence and sexual assault. Every day, lives are changed at The Advocates. Please visit our website at www.theadvocatesorg.org. So from all of us, thank you for shopping and donating to The Attic. You're truly...
My name is Keith Perry, and my wife Paula and I are the owners of Perry's Restaurant, operating here since 1985, and we've grown to become a local institution here.
We make almost everything from scratch, including all our muffins, our cookies, our salad dressings. Everything is made to order.
Perry's is open daily at 7 a.m., serving hearty breakfasts, and lunchtime made-to-order sandwiches, soups, and salads, and premium beer and wine.
I always sense a level of honesty, you know, in the music that we create.
It's all about listening to each other and taking styles and blending them.
We just let our music happen, and sometimes it takes us to places where we never thought we could go, and we're looking at each other when we're done going, how do we do that? And that's really the only way that you can create that kind of magic, is to just leave space for it to happen.
I remember going to the doctor when I was a kid. He knew me, I knew him. It was really simple. And then medicine changed with more expensive labs, medications, bigger clinics, and not enough time to explain it all.
Direct primary care came along, outside the insurance system and affordable. I'm Dr. Tom Archie. At InnerHealth MD, we spend the time we need building collaborative relationships. We bypass the insurance, lab, and pharmaceutical industries and pass on the savings to our patients. At our office, common labs can cost $5 to $10, and in our pharmacy, generic prescriptions often cost less than $5. Our family practice treats fractures, lacerations, and sports injuries, teaches prevention, and coordinates acute and chronic care. We don't accept insurance. Our patients pay a monthly fee that is less than a cable bill. With acupuncture, herbs, Class 4 cold laser, and a holistic, functional medicine approach, InnerHealth MD is family medicine like it used to be. Affordable, personal, and looking to the future.
People come into the store and go, where can I ride my e-bike and where can I can't. Right now, e-bikes are not allowed on Forest Service property that is designated non-motorized.
Okay, right.
But in Ketchum, Idaho, Whole Valley, if you took 100% pie and put what's motorized or non-motorized,
right,
you would have 80% of it is motorized.
So there's a wealth of places to take an e-bike off-road.
And the Forest Service, again, and the people in the community, especially the motorcycle group that have cleared these trails for years. You know, I always love when you go to Greenhorn and you're sitting in the parking lot and some people look at the motorcycle guys and go, look at those guys over there.
Right.
And you go like, oh yeah, but did you see that in their scabbard is a big chainsaw? And if it wasn't for the motorcycle families, our trails wouldn't be open.
What, for example, are some of those kind of iconic rides?
Iconic ride. All of Greenhorn is motorized. All of Deer Creek is motorized.
Wow.
Oregon Gulch is motorized. Osborg is motorized.
Fantastic.
But there are spurs off of those that are non-motorized that lead to non-motorized areas.
Sure.
Adams Gulch, believe it or not, there's, that's one that really gets people because the road on Adams Gulch is motorized.
Sure. We see behind us here. What's this one? What's this?
Well, Michael, what you have here is pretty much the last couple of years the revolution of e-bikes.
Right.
And one thing we really want to make sure that we talk to people about when they're looking at purchasing an e-bike is to make sure that it looks like a bike first.
Okay.
And that has been a big problem with the e-bike industry. It's out there. It's selling bikes right and left, but there are a lot of bikes that you're going to bring into us at the Elephant's Perch and go like, we'd like to have you fix our e-bike. It's not working.
Right.
And I'm going like, well, we can't fix that because we can't get parts. And
Sure.
if you call up the company, you're going to find out that their phone number is no longer in service.
So speaking of parts, this back hub does not look like a normal bike.
Right. This is the old generation or the first generation of e-bikes. This is a bike where they wanted to regen power. It's really not working well. It makes the back wheel very, very tippy. It doesn't ride well. Most important when you're looking at a purchase of a bike, we're going to get this one away because this is what you want to look at that you don't want to look at.
This is the old gen, and now, so then we move into the next generation. This to me almost looks like a classic cruiser.
It's a classic cruiser. Yeah. You look at the rear wheel, it's just a bike. You look at the front wheel, it's just a bike.
Yep.
You actually see where is the battery. You don't see a battery, but that battery is in the down tube.
Sure.
You don't have batteries hanging off the rear and making my butt swivel down the bike path.
Right. Everything is enclosed in here.
Right.
In here.
And your motors now are in the crank. They're in the crank here.
Okay.
So this is the most important thing. And again, purchasing of an e-bike, look at your reputable bike companies. It doesn't have to be at the Perch, but if you're buying through your local store, it's very important to buy from big guys that are going to be around. Specialized, the Giant, the Scotts, the Treks.
They've got that reputation.
They have their reputation. They're not going to be gone tomorrow.
Sure.
These are the important
things. And this is a step through too, so basically any size person.
This is a step through, which I know it sounds funny. I mean, Michael, even I at times have to use this, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but remember all those guys that came off of Baldy with their hip injuries?
Sure.
Okay, this is not a girl's bike anymore.
Now this to me looks almost like any other mountain bike.
It is a mountain bike.
Sure.
This is the mountain bike version. And mountain bike versions are in category 1. because in a mountain bike, you really don't want to be going 25 miles an hour on a mountain bike trail.
Uphill, certainly, right?
Uphill. If you come to a switchback at 25 miles an hour, the trail is going to go to the left, and you're going to go straight.
Yep. So there's a safety component too.
It's a safety component there. So again, it looks like a mountain bike. In the back, if you have a flat, it's just like anything. Changing your tire is simple.
Right.
The front is identical. Again, it's in the hub, right? I mean, in the crank.
Yep.
And the battery is very confined, you know.
Full suspension, everything.
Full suspension, everything. Out on bikes, sometimes some of our local riders that have done this are out now, believe it or not. They're ex-motorcycle guys, they're now mountain bikers,
right.
And they're doing their old motorcycle bike trails. They're out 7 hours.
Sure.
And
wow.
And again, conserving the batteries. There are 3 different systems here. There's a 20%, 50%, and 100% output. And that means it helps you with those different outputs. And then with this situation, you can go out and you don't really need it. Again, all these bikes that you look at purchasing, a key to it, try to pedal it around the store or wherever and take it out on the trail and pedal it just as a bike.
As a bike, right.
Try and use it as a bike.
Sure.
And then you're going to get a real feel for it. Okay, wow, this handles just like a bike.
Sure.
And I think that's really important.
Yep.
Again, those are very key elements of looking at purchasing an e-bike. If you're in an e-bike friendly community, you know, in the recreational world, it's a good thing for everybody.
That's awesome. Well,
Yes.
Nappy, thank you so much for taking some time this morning to be with us, and have a great summer.
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
Family heritage, quite frankly, it's made us who we are today. We are proud to be Idahoan and proud to be an American. Back to the 1800s, our Idahoan generations would agree. It's been quite an exploration, a real adventure for our families. Farming, cattle ranching, serving the armed forces. We believe every generation should strive for betterment. From our family to yours, dig deep into your heritage. Explore it, live it, learn from it, pass it on. Audio Innovations is an innovative audio-visual company that designs, integrates, and simplifies a truly custom system to keep you comfortable, entertained, and secure in your own home. Audio Innovations TJ's Electric offers a variety of services, from phone systems to lighting control systems, HVAC systems, home theater, electrical, audio, and video, drapery systems, and more. Audio Innovations, 91 East Croy Street, Alturas Plaza, in Haley.
Barry Peterson Jewelers, a luxury jewelry store in Ketchum, Idaho, specializing in custom design and repair.
Jewelry making, I look at as more of architecture. A piece of jewelry is more of a link between a man and or a woman and or mankind and the gemstone world. And so there is actually a lot of engineering that goes involved, that I think is involved with making a piece of jewelry that someone's going to wear every single day of their life. That part of the 3D thinking is a huge factor.
Create your custom piece with Barry Peterson today.
Great to see you. Look, are you on your way to work? Nice. Me too. It's a nice way to travel, isn't it?
I love it. It's silent, unlike the trucks going by.
Right. And it's so much more relaxing way to head into the office and head home at the end of the day too,
Exactly.
isn't it?
Just clear your head and enjoy the outdoors.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. All right.
God, it's so nice to run into you.
You too.
It's my pleasure. I'm with Amy Christensen. Amy, e-bikes.
E-bikes.
How wonderful is this? I'm on my e-skateboard. You're on your e-bike, heading into work. It's a great way to go, isn't it?
It is. It's the best. I ride my bike so much more than I did before I had an e-bike, and I go way farther and longer, and it's a social occasion too. Meet my girlfriend, we go out, we go way out Trail Creek, and we have a blast. And I also don't worry when I'm going to work, and it's, big hills. Don't have to worry about the sweat. You got this guy going if you need it.
Right. No. Otherwise, I mean, you get to wear your work clothes and head into the office. What does this mean as we look forward into alternative forms of transportation, energy? How do the e-vehicles figure into that?
Sure. I just think we're going to see a lot fewer people in cars. I mean, we've seen more and more in our cities that people want to get out of their cars, and that they're getting into ride sharing, and Uber and Lyft are off the charts because of the convenience, and you don't have to own a car and deal with maintenance, right? So same here. We don't have all those services. We don't need them. We're a lot closer. So we can just jump on our bike, on our skateboard, and instead of driving a mile, we're biking a mile or 10 miles. And with the e-bikes, we can do it. And so we're just seeing a mass adoption globally with electric cars. We're now up to something over 2 million cars on the road.
Right.
So super exciting moment. Norway, the last month's purchases of electric vehicles were 60% of all vehicles purchased in Norway were EVs. So yeah.
No, and we've spoke to people at the shops in Ketchum that said when they get questions about bicycles, about 4 out of 5 are about electric bikes, and so people are not there. They want to know about it. It is awesome.
Yeah, look at that.
Hey there, you guys.
Hey, they've got one.
Be careful on that cool e-bike. I love it. It's the range you talked about. Now the range is improving both on automobiles, electric automobiles, and the bikes and everything else. That's a big factor too, isn't it?
Absolutely. I've got a electric vehicle that goes over 300 miles, so easy to go to Boise. They've got a supercharger there, charges it up in about a half hour. Also, hotels are putting them in
as an amenity to have. Right.
People are searching, where can I stay and charge my car overnight, and so hotels are getting smart about that. We've got them here at Nob Hill Inn and the Inn and the Lodge. Right there, easy at Sun Valley Lodge. So
sure.
Yeah, it's getting easier and easier, and the e-bikes just make so much sense because they're so fun. I just have a blast.
And the bus companies are entertaining the option too of changing their fleet over to electric.
Exactly.
It's very exciting, and it means a lot as we move forward.
It does. I mean, the buses are huge. They're going to save a ton of money off of the fuel and the maintenance.
Right.
And so we wrote a letter in support of the grant they were going after to get an e-bus for mountain rides, which is going to be great. I just think this is where everybody's going, right? It's more fun, more convenient, cheaper. Idaho, our electricity's so cheap that you can go a mile on your car at a third the price you can on gasoline. So it's like.
And do we see some partnership between Idaho Power and these programs?
Absolutely, they're super excited about it. Idaho Power's there. They're providing discounts on and off in putting a charger in your garage for doing electric car charging if you need one. But honestly, I just plug into a 3-prong plug, no problem, charge overnight.
It's great.
But yeah, Idaho Power's got a whole group working on electric transportation and charging, because the key is Idaho, we need chargers so that people can charge up when they're traveling those long distances. So they're taking that Volkswagen money that they got through that settlement when Volkswagen lied about the performance of their cars. Idaho's got a bunch of that money, and we're putting chargers around the state.
Well, what an appropriate use for that. And again, to make lemonade out of lemons there.
Exactly.
That's awesome. This is the future. It's not a fad. Hey, it's not a fad. This is here to stay. We're not inventing these wheels. It's happening, as you mentioned, in Europe, and it's now an opportunity for us, isn't it?
Absolutely, and our stores here are stocking them up. And they know what they're doing, so you can just go to anywhere you want and find your e-bike and find your e-skateboard. I've seen our friend Doug Elsley on his I'm not even sure what that is.
Oh, that's a one wheel. The one wheel. Those are wonderful too. Yeah, there's all kinds of options, and anything to get people out and about, both from a recreational standpoint, but from a transportation standpoint too, so that we can ease on the traffic congestion issues and the parking issues.
Exactly. We don't have to worry about parking. The other day I went to a gathering at someone's home in the evening, and everyone else was having to drive their car to a bus to get a bus ride, and I rode my bike right up to the front door.
No, it's great for the health of us as a species and for our planet too. So
it's just more fun, and everything that we're trying to do in this community is about just better across the board for our health, for the planet, for our economy, and we can all benefit with e-bikes and fun.
Well, I'm so glad I ran into you on the way to work, and enjoy your e-bike.
I will.
All right.
Thanks. Have a good day.
You too.
Thanks, Michael.
family heritage, quite frankly, it's made us who we are today. We are proud to be Idahoan and proud to be an American. Back to the 1800s, our Idahoan generations would agree. It's been quite an exploration, a real adventure for our families. Farming, cattle ranching, serving the armed forces. We believe every generation should strive for betterment. From our family to yours, dig deep into your heritage. Explore it, live it, learn from it, pass it on. Audio Innovations is an innovative audio-visual company that designs, integrates, and simplifies a truly custom system to keep you comfortable, entertained, and secure in your own home. Audio Innovations TJ's Electric offers a variety of services, from phone systems to lighting control systems, HVAC systems, home theater, electrical, audio, and video, drapery systems, and more. Audio Innovations, 91 East Croy Street, Alturas Plaza, in Haley.
And, and do you notice, is there less maintenance as opposed
There's no
to
maintenance.
combustion cars that you've had over the years?
There's absolutely no maintenance, yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I don't, well, I'm sorry, because it also means there's no cleaning, washing, or anything.
No, that's okay. That's all right. We like to see that it's getting good use, right?
It is getting lots of use. I am not a car person.
Right, wonderful. Have you taken, I know you said it's wonderful to drive around town, have you taken it on any trips of distance?
Well, I can't, because it has a range of somewhere around 100 miles.
Okay.
So, and that is the one disadvantage to it. So I have to trade cars with Amy or rent a car if I go to Boise, and eventually we will have stations, but I know that the newest Leaf has a wider range.
A longer range, and that, and with all these electric vehicles, the technology, it seems, is advancing. Mm-hmm. So we're pulling up to an electric charging station, and it looks like someone's in there right now, a Tesla.
Pretty.
But this is something that the city of Ketchum installed to allow you owners of electric vehicles a chance to charge up, right?
Right.
That's fantastic.
And actually, I do need a charge.
And it is so, it's silent, basically.
Completely silent, which, you know, you do have to remember that, because you can forget to turn the motor off. It does make noises. It talks to me a lot. So.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I drove my hiking group from the SNRA up to Titus Lake, which is one of our hikes 2 summers ago. I got up to the top of, right by Titus, oh my goodness, I only have about 30 miles left, and I got a car full of people to get home. Oh, what have I done? But, you know, I had 30 miles when I got in the car with the group. By the time I got back to the SNRA, I had 99.
Oh, because you were going down the hill? And yes. Sure.
Even to Haley, I can go to Haley without using any miles if I drive, but conservatively.
Right.
But then I lose
when
double of the way. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's fantastic.
It's fascinating what
you get to know your vehicle just like you would with any vehicle.
Exactly. Right.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a fun adventure.
Thanks so much.
I, being very economical, got the so-called dribble charger.
Okay.
So basically, because I'm not working in, you know, I have an easier life than some people.
Yeah.
So that I plug in at night, and in the morning I've got a full 116 to 23 miles.
Okay. So there's that option. And by the way, you've earned that little bit easier life because you've been incredible. But then we've got quick chargers and other things.
Yeah.
How long does it take this Tesla to go from almost empty to what it?
This is a level 2 charger that it's on here at the Ore Wagon. Charger to get the 100-mile is probably about 2 hours, somewhere in there.
Right.
The level 1 is overnight, so more like a 6 to 8 hour. And then, but level 2 is about 2 hours. This guy is going to take probably 3
3 hours
for a full,
to get to a full.
charge.
Yep. I've used the level 2 charger down at the Silver Creek Hotel down in Bellevue.
In Bellevue, right?
When I've been on my way back from Boise and getting a little low, I drop it in there and have a cup of coffee. So yep, about 3 hours or so, and then the superchargers, which is what Tesla has in Twin Falls, in Idaho Falls, and in Boise.
Yep.
Those superchargers, you're good in a half an hour, 20 minutes, half an hour.
That's wonderful. And so the technology is there to speed that up and make it more convenient for
It's
everyone.
just going more and more and more. You've got these companies, EVgo and others, that are just deploying superchargers for Universal, not just Tesla, all over the country now. It's exciting.
So yeah, do you envision 5 years from now, 10 years from now, that the majority of vehicles are electric?
Definitely, because they're just better. They're more fun, and they're cheaper, and they're faster, and
I just can't imagine anyone not wanting it, to never have to go to a gas station. And boy, if you stop at a stop sign or a stoplight, you're ahead of everybody without even thinking, and I'm not one of those drivers.
And
Mom's hot off the start.
We talked about it too as for an overall community benefit, the lack of noise pollution. I mean, we deal with that all the time. I think we take it for granted, but boy, if the quietness, it's wonderful. Well, thanks so much for sharing your time and your vehicles and knowledge. It's been great.
Thank you. It's fun.
Autoimmune disease is a huge one that we treat that affects a lot of people. When you look at the properties of hyperbarics, getting the inflammation down, getting those organs to function properly, and it's proven that it suppresses the autoimmune system. So yeah, we've had really good success with autoimmune disease.
I'm Karen Bosick with Iron Sun Valley, and what you're seeing is a self-defense technique called Krav Maga. The advocates in the Wood River Valley offer it twice a year, free of charge to the community. Let's check it out. Tracy, you've taught Krav Maga 10 years now, and I understand it means contact combat. Can you tell me how it got started?
Yes, Krav Maga was started in Israel by a man named Amy Lichtenfeld, and it was designed as a self-defense system to be taught to the average person, and for that average person to become proficient in a short period of time.
Okay, and what is the gist of it?
Krav Maga is self-defense, plain and simple. It's dirty fighting, it's fast, meant to get you home safe from any violent encounter.
Okay, and so your primary focus is young women and...
Actually, no, I teach everybody, law enforcement, military personnel, women, children, men, yes.
Wow,
Self-defense is for everybody.
And what might be like one or two simple moves?
Well, I mean, the bread and butter of Krav Maga is to defend and counterattack as close to simultaneously as possible. So whichever situation you find yourself in, you want to do those two things at the same time when it's possible. A very common attack is a bear hug. If you want to bear hug me, I can show you how to get out of that.
Okay.
All right, so if you bear hug me from behind, my arms are free. I'm going to face and base, drop my weight, throw combatives to the body, and then turn and finish with follow-up combatives, straight punches, knees, etc. to get out of the fight.
I got it.
Nice work.
Good.
Right back on.
Daryl Harris, you're the social change coordinator for the Advocates. Tell people what the Advocates is.
We're an agency that helps victims of domestic violence and sexual assault.
Okay.
We have a shelter in town, we have education services, we have transitional housing, we have a lot of programs we're running to support victims.
Okay, okay. And this, of course, is one event that you offer free of charge.
Yes.
Twice a year, April and October. And why do you do that?
April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And every time we offer the class, what I see is young women and older women walking out feeling stronger, feeling more confident, feeling empowered. So it's worth it. I love having this class.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun to see because I think I've seen it 3 times now. And every time it's like, you know, you get young teenagers to older women. All walks of life, secretaries, CEOs, lawyers, the whole works. I remember you even put a hole through the wall at the library one time, but
yes, we
maybe
did.
that's what precipitated the big remodeling project.
It's a tough class. It's a tough class and it's a hard workout.
I still have to get her the rest of the way off me, and so I will bridge again, and then this is where I throw some punches, strike with the groin, come up, go hard and strong. Here, I go, boom! My arms come down, and I bridge. Everybody lay down with your head that way, your feet this way, and just do it without a person on top.
Leah McLean, you're a senior lieutenant with the Ketchum Fire Department and a paramedic. What prompted you to come out today?
Well, I've always wanted to try Krav Maga, and I've never had an opportunity. The fact that they made this free and available on a day I wasn't on shift was excellent, and it was a great opportunity for me. And also, everybody needs to know how to defend themselves.
What were a couple points that really fascinated or stood out to you today?
I think that it was nice having all of the techniques shown, demonstrated, and then you get to practice them, and you find that your muscle memory starts to really take hold and you be able to use them under stress, because of course that's the issue here, is remembering it and using it under stress. So those techniques were really well explained and shown, and you got to practice them over and over again.
Okay.
Over enough so that I'm tired.
So just a couple hours of it, and you got some muscle memory, huh?
Yeah, made some difference there. It was really exceptional.
Was there anything that surprised you?
No, it didn't surprise me, but what I was, actually, I guess, I was happy to see the younger women here, because they're the ones who might need to learn how to know when to make a decision to do this, and then how to channel that and be aggressive enough to be safe and get away.
I hope you enjoyed all this high kicking, bear hugs, boom, 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 boom. If you want to try it, remember the Advocates offers Krav Maga twice a year, free of charge, April, October, and can't hurt to learn it. It's a blast. Everybody comes away feeling empowered, happy, had a workout. I'm Karen Bosick with Eye on Sun Valley. Until the next time, I'm keeping my eye on Sun Valley for you.
The very thought of you, and I forget to do the many ordinary things that I am supposed to do.
Well, I'm a bachelor. I never married, and I'm a very social person, outgoing. I had to take care of both my parents. They had chronic heart conditions, but I didn't mind it. I loved them both, you know. Everybody asks me, what's my secret? But there is no secret. I just live one day at a time. Seniors do have quite a few problems. Elderly people don't get the attention that they deserve from their families. As you get older, a person tends to isolate himself for one reason or another, because as we age, various illnesses or conditions arise. I think that they become overwhelmed by whatever they're going through, and they begin to dwell on the illness itself. And it's kind of tragic, but it's a problem that we have to deal with. Cooking for me has become a problem. I can't very well stand and do all of that, so that when I applied for Meals on Wheels, I didn't realize what a wonderful service it really was, and it's played a big part in my life. Not just food-wise, but as I say, socializing with all of the volunteers that come to visit, and it contributes to my nourishment and to my health.
Yes, hey, good morning. Good morning. Gus, how are you? Oh, you're all dressed up today.
Yes, all dressed up. I love their concern. They're just doing it out of their good kindness, their good-heartedness, and I see it. It's kind of like family. You get to know a lot of people. When I go down to the center, it's wonderful because they're all elderly, and they all want to hear me sing, and naturally they know the songs. They'll sing along with me as I sing for them. It lifts their spirits, and of course it lifts my spirits as well.
Eye on Sun Valley, daily local news from beautiful Sun Valley, Idaho.